up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got to talk about Kingston. There appears to be somewhat of an outrage from the fan base as it relates to Kingston. Trying to figure out what happened with Kingston. Nobody seen it coming with the whole Notre Dame thing. Some even suggested that they thought it was really just between Ohio State and USC. And you guys, guess what? You absolutely correct in that. It was between Ohio State and USC. However, Kingston made a statement very telling as to what took place with USC and Ohio State and why he chose Notre Dame. So we want to take a look at that information. He has a great explanation, and you can't argue with that. You guys already know. Unlike Tatum, I like Tatum. He's a good running back, but I love our running backs that we already have. So I did not think that would be a big miss. However, I did think somebody like Kingston, you guys already know, I made the statement here on this channel. I said Kingston is one of those guys, man. He's one of those players that you just absolutely cannot miss on. You don't want to miss on. But he has his reasons. So we're going to take a look at that. Also, we want to take a look. Where does USC class currently stand right now in recruiting? And then we want to take a look at some other information as well. So let's take a look at this real quick. All right, so let's get into this. This is Kingston right here, and these are some of the comments that Kingston actually made yesterday when he made his commitment, man. And he was talking about the two schools, and we're going to talk about the current recruiting updated roster, updated rankings, and see exactly where we stand with that. But here's what he says. He says, honestly, man, I couldn't even see myself there. And so this was a statement that he made yesterday. He says, but I could at the two other schools, in reference to, he's talking about Ohio State and USC, but then he has a scripture here coming from the book of Hebrews, and as to why he did that, to his faith playing a big part. And apparently, as I seen last couple days ago, I think he went on some type of retreat trip or whatever, and had an opportunity to go out there and think and pray and talk to the Lord. So I can only respect the guy's decision, especially when you pray about it and you ask for direction from the Lord. And he said this. He said he couldn't even see himself at Notre Dame. So apparently it was a struggle for him. And for so many reasons, one of the statements that he did make, he said to keep himself more focused. And I get it. I understand sometimes when you're in the local area, everybody can't handle it. Everybody can't, everybody, the levels of focus is different. And so you can only respect somebody that says something like that. So with him, for me, it's no animosity, man. I respect everything that he said, all his comments that he said. So let's take a look at some of this other information. So right now, here are the recruiting rankings right now. This is an on 3 with Notre Dame after they landed Kingston. You see him down there at the bottom. You see they got Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, 3 Florida, Alabama 4, Michigan 5, Clemson 6, Penn State 7. And of course, you see USC. USC is still ranked. Believe it or not, they're still ranked number 8 right now in the country in recruiting. And listen, it's not even over yet. We still got linebacker Chris Cole from the state of Virginia that's supposed to be coming to visit. We got, of course, we waiting on Edric from the state of Georgia. So there's several players that we're still waiting on. And look, USC is still moving and grooving and recruiting, man. I don't want us to take the fact away that USC is still dominating. They're still having big boy recruiting classes, right? Big time players in recruiting right now. And I want you guys to really understand that. So here are the USC's 10 players. They got a total of 17 players in the top 100, in the recruiting class. But you got 10 players here in the top 100. I mean, it's like a lot of people are forgetting the domination that took place in the month of June. USC has 10 players in the top 100. Of course, you see Dakota Fields. He's ranked number 75 overall. Then you see Cameron Fountain, defensive end, out of the state of Georgia. He's ranked number 82. Then you see, of course, Xavier Jordan, ranked number 92. Then you see Ryan Palin, number 95. St. John Bosco product, Marcellus Williams, number 98. Then you have the big-time tight end, Walter Matthews, number 108. And then the center, Jason Zandamila, number 128. And, of course, Joey Olsen, tight end for the state of Oregon, 197. Then one of my favorite players here as well, Marquise Gallegos, number 214. And then Elijah Newby, number 245. So, look, you got people can't forget, man, USC, Dante Williams has absolutely killed it in recruiting, and I think it's very important not to lose sight of the players that we got. I mean, USC is dominating recruiting. Also, we got players that are way underranked right about now as it relates to recruiting, that are not in the top 300. And if you look at some of these guys, I brought you guys the film. They got these guys rated as 3 stars. David Pele is not a 3-star. He is a 4-star. We got him from Penn State. Look, we cannot lose sight of the phenomenal job this recruiting class has done. This recruiting staff has done. You got David Pele. Braylon Conley, by far, is one of the best players in the country. I mean, the guy's one of the. He probably, if I'm not, you guys can hit me in the comments. You guys let me know this, but Braylon Conley may be the most underrated player within this class and one of the best players in this class. No joke, this dude can come in and lay wood. We already know that. He's a big-time player. Also, Brandon Jackson, we equate him to Lindell White, big-time player. Of course, Jarvis Boatwright. You guys already know Jarvis Boatwright was actually a lean toward, Florida State of Florida? Don't forget, I mean, we got some players that can absolutely play. And so I think it's important, because we could easily get lost in the sauce and forget about the domination that took place. And here's the other question I got for you guys. When is the last time, you guys remember February used to be the big time signing day? That used to be the holiday, if you will. Now, and then they bumped it to December, early signing day. But when is the last time we seen guys commit this early like this? I can't even remember. I mean, this time last year, you guys remember, we were worried about Francis, right? Francis and all these guys. You see what kind of season they had at Miami. But we were worried about Francis, losing out on Francis. USC ended up having an outstanding class. Of course, you guys know we got Ben Wallace, Elaney Noah, those other offensive linemen that were part of that last June. So, look, there is a lot of time left as it relates to recruiting. It is not even close to being over. USC is still moving and grooving. We have a great season ahead of us. And I think a lot of people need to put things in its proper perspective as it relates to recruiting. And here are some of the other commits. You see Manasseh Itti. I already mentioned Joey Osei and Elijah Nube. But Manasseh Itti and Makai Sienna, both for 4-star prospects. And look, they're right outside of the 300, top 300. 380 for them two at the bottom, Manasseh Itti and Makai Sienna. So USC's class right now is moving and grooving. I know some going to make reference to Manasseh Itti, the rumors that are out, but I'm not even going to address that. I'm not saying anything until something is official. As far as I know, he is a USC Trojan. All right, so that is Kingston. And look, I've heard several individuals say USC needs to make them their priority, go after them hard. Well, look, let me knock that down real quick, ASAP. And I'm going to tell you why they're going after them hard. You don't bring a Troy Polamalu, a Hall of Famer player. You don't bring him to USC, take out the time if you're not going after somebody hard. I mean, if you're not, he went and had breakfast with him. This is a big-time guy that has history with USC, history with the program, history in the NFL, Hall of Fame jacket. So, look, man, I think USC did everything in their power to try to go after Kingston. And so, he just made a decision. And you guys see it there. Yeah, I read it to you. His decision was what the Lord spoke to him. I can only respect that. I can't dispute that. So, look, man, until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. Don't forget, make sure you get up, get out, and make some things happen. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.